Metropolitan Water District are participating in a ICS demonstration program that started in 2006 and is continuing in 2007. Through this demonstration program, in both of them, land fallowing is being used as creating the extraordinary conservation or extraordinary surplus, intentionally created surplus. Those credits are being stored in Lake Mead. In 2006, the Metropolitan Water District has created about 50,000 acre-feet of water. The reason I say about is that was the intent. The final number will depend on what the Bureau of Reclamation publishes in its decree accounting report. Metropolitan is planning in 2007, this year, to create another 50,000 acre-feet of ICS credit in Lake Mead. The Agricultural Agency, Imperial Irrigation District, that irrigates about 500,000 acres within the Imperial Valley, has elected to create 1,000 acre-feet in 2006 and another 1,000 acre-feet this year. The Basin State's proposal also provides for investigating options to augment the available supply in the Colorado River Basin. And looking at the potentials for augmentation, the 7 basin states have embarked on a study that is being funded by the Southern Nevada Water Authority to have consultants look at potential options for augmenting the Colorado River supply through non-Colorado River system water that would either be surface or groundwater, or looking at brackish or ocean water desalination. That report should be available at the end of this month or the 1st of June. Also, the lower basin states are funding an expansion of the existing weather modification programs within the upper basin. In 2006, the lower basin states funded an expansion of programs within the state of Colorado. And in 2007, we are now inking contracts with the states of Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming to expand some of the existing programs in each of those 3 states to provide additional water. Any water that is provided through this weather modification program will be deemed to be system water. Thereby, since all of the water the snow is falling in the upper basin, it becomes system water. The first entities that will be able to use that are the upper basin states. But we in the lower basin see that although assisting the upper basin first, it also provides and demonstrates that possibly we will be able to augment the water supply to provide benefits not only to the upper basin but also to the lower basin. And in fact, the 7 basin states are currently developing a 5-year plan to look at how we might continue these efforts into the future. The Basin States proposal also promotes implementing programs that would achieve system efficiency. Today, about 200,000 acre-feet of water is currently being lost to beneficial use within the United States, either through salinity management operations or normal operations of the reservoir system. Because of the lag time between Parker Dam and the lowest diversions within the United States, taking about 3 days once you release the water to get to Imperial Dam and to deliver to Mexico in accordance with its delivery schedule, there are significant operational losses in the river system. To address those within California, the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, the Palo Verde Irrigation District, and the Bureau of Reclamation are participating in a system conservation demonstration program. This is a land fallowing program within the Palo Verde Irrigation District, which is right adjacent to the Colorado River in California. Metropolitan Water District is paying for that fallowing. at PVID, and then Reclamation is paying MWD, because it's the United States obligation to replace the current brine stream that bypass water that is going to the Cienega de Santa Clara, that is drainage saline water from the Welton Mohawk Irrigation District. This is a demonstration program to indicate that we can replace some of that water through programs within the United States. In 2006 and 2007, through this demonstration program, 10,000 acre-feet of water will be stored in Lake Mead to replace a portion of the water that is currently being lost. If we just look at the 105,000 acre-feet of water that is currently going in the bypass drain, if we added that up for 10 years, that would be 1 million acre-feet of water. Wouldn't all of us like to have an additional 1 million acre-feet of water in storage in Lake Mead and Lake Powell? The Basin states are also pursuing construction of the Drop 2 reservoir. This reservoir is alongside the All-American Canal. It's about an 8,000 acre-foot reservoir. What the reservoir would do is, when there is excess water above the requested delivery of those entities at the lower reaches of the river, water would be diverted into the All-American Canal and stored in the Drop 2 reservoir. Studies indicate that up to 77,000 acre-feet of water per year could be conserved, could be saved through the construction of the Drop 2 reservoir. The Southern Nevada Water Authority has indicated a willingness to provide funding to construct that reservoir. The Basin states and the Bureau of Reclamation are currently in discussions that would allow the Southern Nevada Water Authority for funding the construction of that reservoir to receive a temporary water supply. This would be an interim water supply and would not be a water supply that the Southern Nevada Water Authority or Nevada could rely on beyond the interim period of 2025. Through that interim period, Southern Nevada Water Authority would be able to divert up to about 40,000 acre-feet a year, or a total of between 280,000 and 360,000 acre-feet in total. The water conserved in the Drop 2 reservoir also provides benefit to both basins. The Basin States proposal promotes reducing the loss of system water through reductions in non-beneficial consumptive uses and elimination of non-contract use of Colorado River water. Throughout the Colorado River Basin, salt cedar and Russian olive stands are consuming large volumes of water. And also within the lower basin, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation estimates that there's about 30,000 acre-feet per year that are being used by non-contract users or unauthorized uses of Colorado River water. 10,000 acre-feet of that is within California. To address the salt cedar and the loss through salt cedar, the Basin States are investigating participation in a program to eradicate salt cedar and replace it with native vegetation. We are currently having discussions how that may occur. In this regard, the Basin States are exploring the possibility of partnering with the Bureau of Reclamation in implementing the 2006 Salt Cedar and Russian Olive Demonstration Act that does provide some grants, some funding to implement demonstration programs on control of salt cedar and Russian olives. The lower Basin States are also implementing the Lower Colorado River Multi-Species Conservation Program. This is a program that has been undertaken in partnership among the three lower division states, Arizona, Nevada, and California, Bureau of Reclamation, and a number of other interior agencies to look at taking out some of the salt cedar, replacing that with native vegetation, and implementing environmental compliance with the ESA on the existing operations, as well as covering proposed future management actions that may be taken. Within the Lower Colorado River Multi-Species Conservation Program, up to 8,132 acres of riparian, marsh, and backwater habitat will be created. As I indicated, the non-native salt cedar will be replaced with native cottonwood and willows. We also estimate that up to 50,000 acre-feet of water per year may be needed to restore and maintain the native vegetation. Within the program, if there isn't a water entitlement attached with the conservation area that is being developed, the program will go out and purchase the necessary water to create and to maintain that habitat. For the MSCP, we are currently in the second year of implementation. This year we have budgeted to spend $16.3 million. The Bureau of Reclamation has initiated a process to either bring non-contract use of mainstream water under contract or to terminate its use within the lower basin. California and the Colorado Board of California has supported reclamation embarking on that program. And in response to that, California has implemented what we call the Lower Colorado Water Supply Project to address the unauthorized use of Colorado mainstream water within California. Through this program, there will be an exchange of non-Colorado River system water. It will be groundwater that is pumped out of an aquifer, pumped into the All-American Canal. In exchange, Imperial Irrigation District that takes water in the All-American Canal will reduce its delivery from the Colorado River by a like amount. And so that will allow then the entities along the mainstream of the Colorado River that currently do not have an entitlement, or their entitlement isn't large enough, such as the City of Needles, to take that Colorado River water in exchange. The program will produce 10,000 acre-feet of water per year. In concluding, for the Colorado River Basin, I firmly believe that the status quo is an unacceptable option. Change will occur. The question is, are we prepared for it? To continue to meet the critical water supply needs in the basin, we must accept the change and continue to prepare. The basin states have proposed water augmentation, water management opportunities that will assist in this regard. These opportunities must be implemented. However, we must look as stakeholders and as others interested in management and operation of the Colorado River, look at other viable opportunities that will allow us to meet the critical water supply needs of each of the stakeholders and to continue the economic development within the basin. With the growing demands, the limited water supplies, the impacts from global warming and climate change, we must be innovative and think outside the box. I'm not sure that I believe thinking outside of the box requires an amendment to the 1922 Colorado River Compact, because I firmly believe that within the compact itself there is sufficient flexibility that will allow us to implement these innovative out-of-the-box programs. I think we have verified that that can occur with the Basin States proposal, with some of the other activities such as banking within the lower basin that have occurred in the past and that we're proposing should occur in the future. Cooperation and coordination among the basin states and the stakeholders in the basin are pivotal to bring about this required change. And if we look at the latest NRC report I believe they are saying that the scientific community must be a part of that dialogue, a part of that collaboration. Thank you. I think I have a couple minutes to address any questions. No questions? Yes.
It seems like, with all due respect, that what you're doing here is playing a water shell game. And I wondered if your agency is committed to the 1% minimum stream flow to restore the color of the delta.
And I'm not sure in what regard you're saying, are we committed to the 1%? I believe the 1% of the flow of the Colorado River could be provided to the delta if the stakeholders, the interest in providing that 1% were to obtain the water by some means in order to ensure that the water reaches the delta. If we look at all of the stakeholders within the basin, there's critical needs. I believe there's critical demands. There will be changes. I think that those needs can, should, and will be met in the future. Within the Basin States proposal, and what the consultants are looking at, they're looking at the actual importation of some water from other river systems. That may be viable.
Where will that other water come from? Where will you import it from?
One of the proposals is to import it from the Mississippi River. And if you look at an aqueduct from the Mississippi River across, what does it cross? It crosses a lot of the Midwest that is extremely dry. If there was an interest in the Midwest of taking some of that water to meet some of their critical water supply needs, possibly that wouldn't be such a bad idea. And if you were to do that, and you were to augment the system by 600,000 acre-feet, 700,000 acre-feet, a lot of these critical decisions that we are making today and making choices, which needs are the most critical, which needs have to be met, that would assist in meeting some of those needs that may be viewed by some on the fringe.
If you try to balance Lake Mead and Lake Powell, doesn't this violate the compact requirement of 7.5 million plus the law of the river, so 8.23? And there is no provision in the compact for credits given by the lower basin to the upper basin for the water delivery.
That's true, and I don't, from being from California, I don't believe that the minimum objective delivery is 8.23 million acre-feet. I believe that it's higher than that. And we have the board supporting a higher delivery. But within the 7 states discussions, we have agreed to set aside some of those differences and look at what makes sense in this interim period for operations. And so within that 7-state proposal, we recognize that within the compact there may be specific provisions. We would be agreeing not to enforce those and say that this makes good sense from a water management perspective to assist both the upper basin in some of its needs as well as the lower basin in some of its needs. And that's why I believe that within the 22 compact as well as other pieces of the law of the river, if we so choose, we can find ways as 7 basin states and as stakeholders within the basin to meet our critical water supply needs through innovative approaches. Yes?
Some people feel like it was a mistake on the part of the commissioners in the compact not to invite Mexico to participate in those negotiations. You talked about the 7-state proposal to deal with water under drought conditions, and I wonder if it was a similar mistake not to invite Mexico to participate in those negotiations.
Well, I think there's specific channels on which you involve Mexico in discussions. That is through the State Department. This was not, the negotiations on the 22 compact were not through the State Department. So if you are going to invite Mexico to participate in the intentionally created surplus as the environmental community, and as we in California believe, they should be able to, it's not going to be us discussing with Mexico that, it's going to be us in partnership with the State Department discussing that with the counterparts in Mexico.